this is Madison Dennis with MHD Cosmetics and MHD Beauty out of Nashville, Tennessee. I am here today because I wanted to do a tutorial on a fun spring look that incorporated a little bit of eye color or color into the eye makeup. As you can see here, I added a little bit of this purple, just a little bitty pop of purple in the Waterline. It takes a otherwise neutral eye look just up a notch and just adds a little bit of spring to it. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so my face is completely clean and I have toned it and put on some moisturizer. So before I do anything else, I'm going to prime my eyelids and go directly to doing the eye makeup, and then I'm going to do the rest of my face. So to prime my eyes today, I'm just going to be using the Balm's Put a Lint on It. I can't find my MHD Cosmetics Prime Time, so I'm just going to put some of this all over my eyelid. For my base color, I'm going to be using this color from MHD Cosmetics called Pebbles. And to apply that, I'm going to actually be using one of our new brushes. It's not yet released, but it is the ProBlend 860. And I'm just going to apply this all over my eyelid, all the way up to the brow. And this is a perfect lid color for me because it's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, just not by very much, just a little bit. So what it's going to do is it's just really going to give me an even canvas to work with, because I am going for more of a neutral matte look with my eyeshadow. So I just want to make sure that I've got a really even canvas to work with throughout my whole eyelid. So the next color I'm going to be using is from MHD Cosmetics. This color is called Berlin, and this is just a nice like light caramel color, and I'm going to use this to kind of just buff in and create kind of a crease look, but just really subtle. So to apply this, I'm also using another brush that we're going to be introducing to MHD Cosmetics, and this is the Eye Contour 853. It's just a really good domed fluffy brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start just kind of buffing this back and forth, windshield wiper, arch motion into my crease, and I'm really going to be kind of liberal with my buffing here. I want this to eventually make its way all the way up to my brow, because this color is just barely darker than the Pebbles color that I used for my lid, so it's not going to be like a super prominent crease color. So I want it to just kind of be there to add a little bit of depth, and we can afford to kind of apply it to a wider area. Okay, so the next color I'm going to be using is this color from MHD Cosmetics again. All the eyeshadows I'm going to be using in this video are from MHD Cosmetics, and this is called Urban. This is a color that we introduced in our fall 2015 line. It's just a really great like khaki color. It's almost like a taupe. It kind of has a green undertone, and this is one of my favorite crease colors to use, whether I'm using, you know, shimmers and colors. This color I feel like I always come back to just to kind of mellow out that crease. So to apply this, I am using yet another brush, and this is also one that we're going to be introducing to MHD Cosmetics here in the next little bit, and this is the Crease and Contour number 29 brush. It has a little bit of a taper going on, so what that's going to allow me to do is really kind of centralize on that crease so that it's just not quite so buffed up and away from the crease area. Okay, next I'm going to start applying some eyeshadow to this outer corner here to just create depth and make the eyes look like they go upward and outward. So to start doing this, what I'm going to use is this color from MHD Cosmetics called Cactus, and this is just a really nice warm brown. This is one of our spring 2016 colors, so it's brand new. If you haven't had a chance to try a really good warm, good solid medium brown, this is a great color to try. It looks great on a lot of different skin tones. So to apply this color, I am using an eyeshadow brush from Ulta. It kind of looks like a squared off fingernail. It's a little bit smaller. You know, as you go darker with your eyeshadows, you want to use smaller brushes so that you can be a little more concentrated with where you're applying it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to kind of tap this right here on this outer part of my eyelid. And to transition this color, I'm going to go back to Urban, so we're going back a step in the depth of the brown. Going to use the same brush, I just kind of wiped it off. And I am just going to kind of use that to blend between the lid color and that color Cactus that we just applied. Because we don't want to ever be able to tell where one color begins and the other ends. Okay, so now for the last darkest color, I am using this color. It's called Hefner, and it's from MHD Cosmetics. This again is one of our spring 2016 brand new eyeshadows. It is a matte warm brown. I would say it's between a medium and a dark. For this look, I'm not using super heavy dark eyeshadows. I wanted to keep it kind of light and concentrate on the lashes and the color that I'm going to apply in my waterline. So this is the darkest that I'm going to go today. And to apply this, I'm actually going to use our number 17 precision brush. You can see that this is a really small brush, and I'm just going to be applying it in a really small area. So I don't want to use a brush that's too big. So I'm just going to put this right, I'm kind of like buffing it onto my lash line and then pulling it out. I'm going to just use it to extend past the outer corner of my eye, just because I always kind of default to that cat eye look, which is kind of like comes to a point. But I'm going to try to refrain myself today. I'm going to kind of round it off just a little bit, but I still want to start with that pointed look just a little bit. So now I'm going to go back to this eye contour brush, the number 853, and I'm just going to kind of go lightly over everything and just blend it out, because I just really want a super blended eye makeup look here for this. Now there's something going on over here. See where I kind of have that gap right there? So I'm going to go back to the Berlin, and I'm using this 853 brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff that in that extra space there and just kind of blend it all out on the other side. So now to add a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to use two of our high def shimmer pigments from MHD Cosmetics. This one is called Sunset, and this one is called Luster. This one's more like a regular, it's called Sunset because it kind of has like, you know, red, orange, and gold pigment in it. And this one is more like a rose gold. So I really love the way it looks with these two mixed together. It just kind of looks like a really neutral, really pretty gold color. So the first one that I'm going to use, again, I'm using this ProBlend 860 brush. I'm going to put on the Sunset, And I'm just going to kind of put it all over the lid here in the center. And then I'm going to take some of the luster, and I'm actually going to buff that into my tear duct area and then kind of blend that into the sunset. And then I'm just going to kind of blend upward. Now I'm just still not super happy with these outer corners, so I'm just going to go back to this brush and the Cactus, and then I'm just going to kind of blend this out super subtly. I don't want it to be like really an obvious pull outward, but I do want a little bit of it to be there. So I'm going to do like this. I've actually got something funky going on with my eyelid right here. It doesn't want to collect color, so I need to see about that. So if anybody has any ideas about that, let me know. It's just, there's just one little spot on my eyelid right here that color just doesn't want to adhere to, whether it's primed or not. Okay, so I have a face wipe, and remember our eyes are my face. Remember, my face does not have anything on it except for moisturizer, so I'm just going to kind of tint this over my finger, and I'm just going to wipe under here. See, look at all that. It's hard to believe that that much fallout came out. So I'm just going to make sure that this is really clean, and I do like to kind of cut this upward like that, like I was talking about, creating that kind of very subtle cat eye look, and that'll kind of take care of issues that I had going on over here. Okay, so now I'm going to prime my face. Okay, now I'm not going to go too in-depth with foundation application because I actually made an in-depth foundation, liquid foundation application video for you guys so that I wouldn't have to kind of rehash all these steps every single time I do foundation in my videos. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hop over there and watch that video and then come back and follow along throughout the rest of this video so that you'll know exactly what's going on. But I do want to say, of course, I'm going to be using my high def foundation from MHD Cosmetics, but I have really been loving mixing it with Kevyn Aucoin's the Celestial Skin Liquid Lighting Fluid. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gold illuminator gel, and I just like mixing gold illuminators with my foundation. I kind of have a like yellow, I'm kind of in between pink and yellow, but I like to, if I'm going to add an illuminator to my foundation, I like for it to be on the gold side. At MHD Cosmetics, we do have a liquid illuminator, which is called, what is it called? I know the color is Movie Star. Oh, Sheer Glow. And it's a gel also, so it's not going to like make your face do weird things, or it's not going to mess up your foundation if you mix it with it. But I would say if you're really fair skin, if you kind of have an alabaster or porcelain skin tone, then that looks really beautiful mixed in with your foundation. So foundation is on, so I'm going to be applying some liquid concealer from MHD Cosmetics, and this color is N25, and I'm just going to apply this under my eyes. I'm going to go all the way across like that, and then down beside my nose, not on the side, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my damp beauty blender. And I'm also going to add some down the center of my nose, up through the middle of my forehead, and I'm just going to kind of fan it out. And I'm also going to add a little bit to the top of my lip. So to set this, the first thing I'm going to do is use contour powder number 1 from MHD Cosmetics, and I'm just using a brush from Real Techniques, just one of these real fluffy ones. And so this is kind of step 1 of setting this. I just want to make sure that this is getting really set before doing anything else, and then I'm just going to go all over my whole face with powder after this. So to finish setting my under eye area, I'm going to be using our High Def Loose powder from MHD Cosmetics. It is a kind of a white powder. So I'm just going to kind of put it on, like cake it on under here in this area. But I'm not going to like bake it. I just don't think that that's like necessary for this look that I'm going for. So as soon as I kind of get it on, then I'm going to kind of use a powder brush to whisk it away. And then I am using our number 41 Mineral Buffer brush from MHD Cosmetics. And I'm just going to apply this powder kind of in a dabbing motion all over my face. I'm especially concentrating in my cheek area just because I want to make sure that the powder goes on really evenly and really well there, because when you go to do like your contour powder and your blush, if you're not set evenly on your cheeks, or set at all for that matter, your contour and your blush are not going to go on as evenly as they need to. I'm going to use this to go back here, I do not want that showing up like crazy. Can't forget the sides of the nose. Of course, cannot forget the forehead. My forehead gets so oily, so I really have to make sure I'm putting extra powder on the forehead area. So I typically use a ton of powder because my face is oily. It doesn't want to wear liquid foundation that well if it is not set really well. So I have to kind of go a little overboard with the setting powder. So don't do like I did and wear a black shirt when you do your loose powder. That's what I have a washing machine for. Anyway, moving on, I'm just going to kind of buff this out a little bit more. I just don't want this to be, like I said, I don't want this to be like super light. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take our dual powder foundation. This is kind of like MAC's Studio Fix powder. It's got pigment in it. I wear it all the time by itself. I'm just going to kind of go around my nose area because sometimes foundation doesn't really cover up my nose area. And I'm also going to put a little bit right here just to kind of even out all of this that we got going on. So now that my face is done, then it's time to contour. I really love contouring, but it doesn't have to be like super intimidating. I do have a contouring tutorial that actually was made last year in 2015, and it hasn't changed that much because my technique for contouring is pretty much the same. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of that right here to accentuate my cheekbones because I pretty much don't have any. I'm also going to go under here, just kind of tighten up that jaw a little bit. And then I'm going to get sides of my nose, my tip of my nose. Doo, doo, doo. Now you can use a totally different brush if you want to do this. I just have gotten comfortable using the tip of the contouring brush, so it doesn't bother me to do it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to apply some blush. For this look, I am using Drizzle, which is like probably one of the most bronzy blushes that I have. I do have one called Adults Only that is like straight up shimmery bronze. But this one is what I would consider my most bronzy, still blushy color. This kind of has like, it's like a dusty rose with a little bit of a peach, kind of a shimmery peach champagne pigment to it. And I'm just using a blush brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff this in. I want this to be super subtle, so I don't really want like a major blush look going on. I just want to kind of blend it into my contour to kind of give myself a bronzed glow. And last but not least, for the face, I'm using our pressed illuminator called Spotlight. It's kind of a peach color, so it's really great for many skin tones. The only people that I would say probably need to stay away from it are the people that are just like a super porcelain, super fair skinned person. And we actually have another shade of Spotlight that's going to be coming out that is more suited for those people. But I'm just going to use a fan brush, and I'm just kind of getting a little bit on here, and then I'm just going to go pat 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 on top of my cheekbones. Ah. Okay, and then doing it like that. And then I'm just going to put, of course, a little or a lot on my nose, center of the nose. You can kind of see it start to show up, because I actually am using natural light here. This is a window, I'm sitting in front of a window in one of the rooms in my house. So this is what it would actually look like if you walked outside with your glow on. Okay, so now we get to go back to the eye area. So as you can see, my brows are not done at all. I am so excited to announce that MHD Cosmetics will be carrying an eyebrow pencil, and this one is color number 4. It is just like an amazing taupey color. It is perfect for me. I am obviously not a natural blonde. I need to get my hair did, but anyways, not a natural blonde, so it's kind of like interesting if your hair color is not your natural color, because pretty much anybody like that gets their hair colored, their brows are going to be a reflection of your natural hair color. So a lot of people are like, well, I've got blonde highlights, but I'm actually kind of a dark brown. You know, what color do I use? So this one's really great for me because it will define my eyebrows, but it's not going to make them look darker necessarily. So just find something that, you know, that you're comfortable with, that is going to define your brows, but it's just not going to make them look really heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, and I'm just basically going to draw a line all the way across, and then I'm going to continue that line like all the way at the very bottom edge of my eyebrow. So like that. Let me get up close so you can see. And then I'm going to kind of come up here, and then I'm going to basically just do a nice solid fill across the top. And then I'm just going to kind of flick and fill the rest of it like that. And for this inner corner, I am just going to kind of do like this. I don't want like a solid line right here, but I do kind of like that boxy look. I'm not a huge fan of like the rounded inner corner. So then, just for extra good measure, to make sure that that doesn't look super heavy in the inner corner, I'm just taking a clean fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gonna kind of like buff that out. See how that harsh line just kind of went away? And then I'm also just going to kind of go along the rest of it. So then I'm going to do the other eye the same way. And to set my eyebrows, I just like to use our Brow Fixx from MHD Cosmetics, and I'm just using the clear one. And I just kind of like to set my brow hairs with a brow gel, just that way if, you know, I accidentally graze them with my fingers or something, if I'm swiping hair away, it's not going to mess them up and kind of move them around. Okay, so back to the eyes. So all I'm going to do really is on this bottom lash line, I'm going to buff some of this Urban, which is kind of like the most middle ground of the colors that I used for the upper lid. And I'm going back to this Ulta brush that kind of has a blunt edge. And all I'm going to do is just kind of start in the outer corner and just kind of go all the way across. I don't want to do like a crazy like smoked out lash line, I just want to do a little bit. So I'm thinking this is about all I'm going to do here. Now I'm just going to add a matte highlight to my brow bone. So I'm actually just using this color from MHD Cosmetics called Vanilla. It's a little bit lighter than the Pebbles color that I used. And I'm just using kind of a flat eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to go up here and kind of define this a little bit more right underneath the brow. Okay, so now we'll see how this goes live on camera. Y'all know I'm all about not editing out mistakes because we all make mistakes when we're applying our makeup, and I want to, if I make mistakes, be able to kind of show you guys how I adjust and fix them on the fly. So what I'm going to be doing is applying a gel eyeliner, and I'm so excited because even though at MHD Cosmetics we do have it's called Cream Pot eyeliner, we've got that in a black and a dark brown. I really wanted to have something in the line that was just like a super intense dark black, waterproof, not going anywhere color, and I found it. And I think I'm going to be calling this Intense Gel Liner or something like that, or Intense Gel Liner Pot or something. But this is it, and this color is called Blackness, so it's like obviously the darkest color that we will be having. And I'm so excited. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that I'll post some little funny things from time to time. And the other day I posted that some of my favorite makeup brushes are actually paint brushes. I go to like Michael's and Joann's all the time, And I got this angled brush at Joann's the other day, and I just love, like, look how chiseled it is. It is just the most fine angled liner brush ever. So I'm going to be using this to apply the Intense Gel Pot eyeliner. I'm pretty much just going to do a very subtle wing just in the outer corner. I'm going to extend it just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So let's get started. So I'm going to get some on my brush here, and I'm actually going to be using a mirror because obviously I can't really tell what I'm doing. So let's see here. I kind of like to start in the middle of the eye and then work my way inward and outward. So there I am working my way inward. So y'all can see how dark this is, and I just love it so much. So I'm at the outer corner, right? Just making sure y'all can see. So the lovely thing about using an angled brush for a wing is you can actually kind of just use the shape to your advantage and just kind of do the wing like that. Now I want it to be thicker. So there I go. So that's exactly what I was going for, and I'm kind of shocked that I did it live for you all. But for the inner corner, what you want to kind of do is notice how I kind of switched it up. So I was going to do like this. You want your actual, like, the part that you see out of in your eye to be looking away from the brush where you're applying it. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but trust me, it's a lot more helpful to do it that way. So that way you can really get in that inner corner, and it's just going to look a lot more professional. So I'm going to do the other side, not on camera, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I got both eyes done, and you can kind of see I have just a little subtle wing on either side. It may not be subtle to you, but it's subtle to me. It's not like an Amy Winehouse wing. And I'm going to be applying false eyelashes, so that kind of helps, like, make everything look, you know, like it's open and upward and outward and everything like that. Okay, y'all, so here's the fun part. If you know me, I don't really wear like a ton of colors. Kind of, my style is just a little more classic. But I've really been inspired by the use of color, especially with eye makeup recently. So I wanted to just kind of add a fun little thing to this eye makeup look, since it's a little more neutral and a little more subtle. So I'm actually adding a really pretty purple, and this is Color Tattoo by Eye Studio 24 Hour. I think it's kind of old, so it may not go on as well as it would if it were new. But I cleaned off this brush that I used to apply the gel, the Intense Gel eyeliner. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put some of this down on my waterline. So that's like this little lip at the bottom. And let's see. So what I'm going to do to apply that is I'm basically just going to lay this across. I need to get a mirror, because that is not something that you want to do looking at a mirror from far away. Yeah, so you just want to kind of lay that down on your waterline. And I like to look up while I do this, since I am putting it on my bottom waterline. Obviously, you don't want to do anything that's going to make your eyes freak out on you. So you can see that it's kind of showing up. I just think it looks so pretty, especially once I get the mascara on the bottom. Then it's really gonna pop. And I'm gonna take it all the way in to the inner tear duct, just to make it pop a little bit more. And anytime you apply anything to your waterline, you might kind of feel like you're getting it in your eye. That's why I always recommend using something that's either already like a pomade or, you know, wetting your brush before applying any kind of shadow or anything, because the last thing you want is a bunch of particles just kind of going into your eyeball. Then it's going to be really irritating. So last thing before we apply lashes is we just want to apply a little bit of mascara. So I'm actually using Maybelline Lash Stiletto Waterproof. I've really been loving that mascara lately, and again I'm going to use a mirror. Don't you just love how the purple really shows up after you add your mascara? I just love that. I think it looks so cool. So last thing before we do lips is I'm going to apply my favorite Ardell Demi Wispies to my lash line. I love these because I have smaller eyes and I don't ever have to trim them. They're already, it's called Demi Wispies. Demi means heart, I think. Don't quote me on that. And then to glue them on, I'm using Duo Brush On Eyelash Adhesive. And I'm just going to glue the band. And then I'm actually going to set that aside and let it kind of dry, and while I glue the other band of the other lash. So you want it to kind of look like it's about to dry. It's about halfway dry. And I'm going to use a cheat mirror also. But I like to start with like the center. And you really want to make sure that you're placing it on, basically on the roots of your lashes. And if you have eyeliner on, you also want to make sure that your lashes, like the base of your lashes, are, if they're not exactly on the roots of your natural lashes, you want to make sure that they are within the liner line, because you don't want to see a false eyelash base above your liner line. It just not a good look. And allowing the glue to dry a little bit before applying the lashes really helps them to not slip once you have them applied. It's just great, like, you know, because sometimes if you glue them and then you go to immediately apply them, they want to kind of slip around. And this way, if they're almost dry, they're already kind of tacky. So once you place them, then it's a lot harder to move them around. Okay, now for lips. I kind of thought about doing like a brighter lip for this, but I decided that going with like a matte neutral, like peachy neutral color would be the best. Just because I've got the purple and I've got the lashes on and a thick heavy liner, so I wanted to kind of keep the lips a little neutral. So what I've chosen is a color called Bedtime by MHD Cosmetics, and this is, like I said, it's like a peachy pinky neutral, and I like to put the lipstick on before the liner just because I feel like the liner kind of glides on a little bit better after I've put the lipstick on. So I'm going to do like one good coat, and then getting my Cupid's bow. Yeah, so one good coat, and then I will be using our lip pencil from MHD Cosmetics called Naked, and it's just like a really super neutral color, and I kind of like to go under here and accentuate that bottom line right there. And then go around And you may need to wipe off like excess lipstick that collects on the brush. But I just feel like the pencil blends in a lot more if you use it after, in some cases. And then I want to go just add a little bit more. Just to really blend in that lip liner. Okay, so that is the end of this tutorial. This is the, I guess I'll call this like neutral daytime smoky eye with purple waterline. Purple waterline just to add a little pop of color for spring, just a little something something extra, a little fun. And just, you know, super neutral face, not a whole lot of contour, not a whole lot of blush, and nice neutral peachy lip. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to visit MHD Beauty and mhdcosmetics.com. You can shop all of the products that I used in this video. If you go to mhdbeauty.com/blog, I have a transcript of the whole video with links included for every single product used. So I would appreciate it if you did that, and hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave any comments on our Facebook page, on this YouTube video, or on our blog, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.